So I got a question for you. I'm just curious because yeah, I'm just curious about something. So let's get some content. Well, first off, let's start with me. First, I have one daughter. She's 13. Okay. Now she doesn't live with me. I don't see her. She lives with her mom, somewhere in OKC. Okay, and she wanted to do what she wanted to do, so that's the reason why that situation is the way it's at. Okay. Now, notice I said I have one kid. Okay. Now, I'm curious as to what made you remotely even think about dating someone that had eight.
above you both because they can't do that on their own. So I don't know. That's the way I see it, but everybody tells me I'm wrong. Everybody says I'm wrong, but that's just the way I feel about it. So I don't know. But I'm sorry.
Y'all, you're very religious, aren't you?
Nope, no religion.
No religion. That's interesting. Interesting. Huh. So, who taught you all of this? Where did you even find this information out?
Okay, so I grew up in the Air Force brat, went to 23 schools,
Okay.
grew up in all over West Coast. When I was 7, my to babysit me. They're like 10 years older than me. Their major, back then it wasn't math, it was crack. They would take me a crack house. And then one day I'm over there, I'm 7 years old, and he comes over to the table, I'm coloring. He's like, come with me, little girl. And I go with him. Big old black man. Old as shit. And I just go with him. I don't know any better. So he brings me back to the room. He shows me what they're doing. They're smoking, everybody's having sex and stuff like that. They're drugged out. And he said, okay, come with me. And then he starts taking me to places all over Vegas and showing me, like, we go to the Cuban place and we go over to D Street. And then it's when you used to be able to drive down Fremont Street. And he was taking me up and down, showing me his girls. And then he took me over to some fancy casino at the time and was like showing me the difference between a high class girl and a street hooker. And then he took me to lunch, trying to explain, like the difference between drugs and making money and stuff like that, and why these different women were on the street. Then he took me back to his house. God sister still didn't notice I was gone. We're sitting in the kitchen. He comes up behind me, puts a knife right here, and he says, okay, after everything you learned today, what are you going to do? Make money or spend it? And I was like, what? He said, if you're going to make money, you're going to be like me. If you're going to spend it, you're going to be like them. And I said, make money. He said, good answer. He said, if you would have said the other thing, I would have cut your throat, had him sewn it up, and I would have put you on the street right now. And I was 7. And from that day on, my motto's always been make money, don't spend it. And then when I was 15, we moved back to Vegas a couple of times. But when I was 15, we moved back there. And he had like had, I don't know what you call it, but he had like a whole bunch of people over at his house. And one of the women was a madam, and she had girls. She had this big, huge, fancy house, and she had girls. And so she asked me to be a babysitter for her. So I started babysitting for her and the girls. And they had like this BDS dungeon room downstairs. But it's not like what you see on TV. It was different than all that make believe shit. And so men used to go, and I would watch these men. They would go and they would be like, these, I mean, the girls were cute, don't get me wrong, but they were hookers. And I would see these men at parties with like their wives, and their wives were gorgeous. I never could figure out why they were sleeping with these women. And then one of the guys one time told me, he said, a wife is somebody you treat nurturing, you make love to them, you respect them. He said, a whore, you can go and fuck her hard, fuck her face, fuck her ass, do anything you want to her, anything you want in her, and she's nothing but trash. And he said, you don't want to do that to your wife, you only want to do that to trash. So he said, don't ever become trash, become a wife. And yeah, it was really weird, but I watched lots of different things. It was like one of the reasons why it took me so long to lose my virginity. I was scared to be with anybody because of all the diseases. I don't know how many people, like, girls got different diseases. Their kids were born with stuff. And then Pops, we moved again and then came to Missouri, and then I went back there when I graduated from Job Corps. And Pops was like really old then, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna give you some girls to put on the street," and he was like, "If I find out you're with somebody and they treat you wrong, you know what's gonna happen to you." And I was like, "Okay, okay." um, but yeah, I got with this guy. His name was Robert Lee Morgan III, but everybody called him Casper. But him and my friend, where we used to live at, there was, I don't know what happened, but I just know this gang member was running down the alley and the car was chasing him, and the car just shot up the whole alley for like 4 blocks and killed a whole bunch of people. And my fiance and my friends were there and died. And I would have been there, but I got paged. Back then we had pagers, we didn't have cell phones yet. They paged me into work, so I had to go to Target. So I just got in the bus like not even an hour earlier and was at work when it all happened, and they came and got me and told me what happened. But so I don't know where I get what I believe, because my parents divorced each other, remarried each other, divorced each other again, remarried each other again, divorced each other again, and almost remarried each other again. So we were back and forth with my parents, but I don't know. I just believe that if more people um, were faithful, or at least honest with each other about their needs and desires, and if they stood it out, then maybe, things would be better. Because, of course, if you get with somebody new, it's going to be better because it's new, it's fresh. But eventually, it's not going to be, you guys are going to argue. So you might as well be with somebody, again, and just work it out from there. I don't know. Like I said, everybody thinks I'm wrong, so I don't know. Am I wrong? I'm sorry. I do talk a lot. I'm so.
Well, it's nothing that you said is incorrect. That's technically how it's supposed to go. The man's supposed to be the head of the household. Well, in religious context, it's God first, the man second, you are third, your children are fourth, and then the rest of your family is fifth. That's how it's supposed to be.
Yeah, I think that's the way
So,
it kind of is in the military too, somewhat. Except for when I was in the military, they changed it to women are supposed to be equal with the man.
well,
Because
yeah. So this is where we're at in 2022 now,
yeah,
where you have women that are trying to be men,
right, right.
and you kind of see what's happening now, where women are. Well, there's OnlyFans, so there's that. Um, but women are like miserable and they hate men. Don't know why. And yeah, it's very interesting. So when they get into these relationships, I don't even know where they come up with their philosophy. All I know is back in the early 2000s, when I first started dating, I started having women yelling at me and cussing at me. And I'm like sitting here thinking to myself, where the hell did they even learn that? Because I didn't see that going to school. Okay. I mean, yeah, some of the girls would like test the men, they would play with them, but I've never seen a woman, a girl, in grade school, middle school, even high school, cuss unless the guy did something. It's totally different, but just to be cussing at a man and do.
Yeah, I saw that growing up the whole time. Women were always, no, actually, my whole school, every school I went to, women were permanent, like dominantly cussing at the men and stuff like that.
Ooh,
Like,
well, I go to those
especially
schools.
black women, like always were like, "Oh, do this for me, do that for me. You need to, And if like they, but I kind of grew up in cities though. Smaller towns, like when we moved back to Carthage, it was way different than the big cities in West Coast. Way different. Um, But I grew up around that. I grew up where, women were always, see, I didn't like those kind of men. I called them punks. Those were the kind of punks that I was talking about. Like if a woman yells at you or talks back at you, or it's crazy. Hold on 1 second. How much is it? Hi, how much is it?
Coming from Tulsa?
Yes.
$5.
Okay, good.
What the
There you
heck?
go. Do I need it for anything?
If you get off, they'll give you a refund.
Oh,
Like
okay.
if you're going to Veneta or Miami, yeah, show them.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much. You have a great night.
The heck?
Sorry.
You had to stop at a toll. You're so funny. This must be your first time in Tulsa.
Drove around yesterday. I didn't go through Tulsa Turnpike. I drove around through the little towns and DoorDash the whole way.
Oh heck to the no. You like doing things the hard way. I see that. I got you.
Well, no, I made money because I DoorDashed the whole way, so it paid for my gas the whole way up there. So I got orders in Miami and took them on to some other little town, and then Bonita. I was there for like an hour door dashing, and then I stopped at another town. Then I went to the gym there and took a shower, and then I went on to Broken Arrow, Dasher a little bit.
Wait a
Yeah.
minute. Is this your main job or this is like a side gig?
Well, I used to work in the call center in Springfield, and then COVID hit, and we moved back to Oregon. And he wouldn't let me work when we moved back there because the kids were homeschooled, so they were home today. So I never left the house in a year. And then when we split, I started doing this after I left California. I used to deliver for a weed company, delivering weed all day for 5 months. But in Oregon, yeah, it was my main job because I only was in Oregon to get my teeth done. And I've only been here like 3 weeks now. Monday, I'll be here 3 weeks.
Oh.
Yeah, I came back for my daughter's wedding. And then I haven't decided where I want to move yet. So once I decide where I want to move, then I'll probably go back and get a regular job. But I make really good money doing this. So, and I make my own hours, and I can go anywhere and DoorDash in any town I want to. So it's cool. I mean,
Okay.
and my bills are less than $200 a month. I only have 3 bills. I have my phone bill, the gym, and my car insurance, and that's it.
Okay.
And I
That's
can
good.
make that
That's good to
after.
know.
Huh?
So it's good to know. I'll write that down. Let's write that down. You have 3 bills. Okay.
I,
3 bills. All right. Okay.
it's normal.
Looking for permanent residence. Okay.
Oh my
All
gosh, you
right.
were so funny.
All right. We got that down. Okay. Okay.
Oh my god.
All right. Yeah. I'm just gonna be blunt with you. I gotta answer some questions here. Um. You got 3 bills. You trying to find a permanent residence. Um. You been with some weird old guys. Uh.
Well, no, the other guy was only 14 years older than me. That it's not that much older, and that was at the end. My daughter's dad, he was older, but like we were together a long time.
Oh yeah.
I
He
mean,
he, he was a normal one. Okay. Yeah.
yeah. And then the first guy I was with, he was normal. This guy. So I mean,
Okay. Okay, as long as it's not, cause I'm gonna say you may not like being around me, cause I'm just saying I'm the what do you want to call it? I come home from work, I relax, do some gaming on the weekends, and then just live life, pay bills. That's all I can do.
that's what you're supposed to do.
Trying to trying to get up to that big money, that big money. It's coming along, but
Everybody wants that big money, but money money is not everything. as long as you're happy and you're doing what you want when you're off work and you're able to relax, you're able to not stress a lot, and you have somebody to take care of you and, make sure that your needs are satisfied and to laugh with. I mean, money is great, but it's not going to buy you that happiness. You could have $1 million, but if you're not around people that make you feel happy, or if you're not feeling happy yourself, I mean, money just helps you buy the stuff that will make you happy, but doesn't necessarily do much for you.
Okay. Okay. All
Well, I'm just saying,
right.
I grew up around money. I grew up around, millionaires and stuff like that, and I've been around and most of the people that have money are miserable. They're very miserable people. And you know what? The worst thing is, they're always trying to make more money and more money and more money, even though they have tons of money, and they never get to really enjoy life because they're always doing so much. Like a lot of these movie stars have money, and then they're always working on films and stuff for years and years and years, and then by the time they slow down, they're like, I didn't even, blink during these years. I never had a chance to take vacations. I never had a chance to find a real love. I never had a chance, to really have kids. And then they started doing it later in life. But then once they started doing it later in life, they found that, their back was hurting. They started having medical issues. So you really, need to make sure that you go for the money you want, but you're enjoying life now, because by the time you get it, you might be too old to enjoy it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know.
Okay.
Is that bad? I
All
don't want
right.
to
So
say stuff
Professor Stanley is in the house. I see you. Okay.
like
All right.
that. I just
So.
want to make sure you're enjoying life. That's it.
Mhm. Now I will say that. So what I'm trying to do, because I still got child support, so that's gonna last until I got actually 5 more years. Now I think about it, because man, I don't know about. Oh, I don't know. I feel sorry for my daughter's generation, because she just. I hate to say this, but her generation, including her, she's kind of like they're like a NPC. Oh, you're like, what's the NPC? I feel like you're not a gamer. So we call those non-playable characters. So those are like, if you play Super Mario Brothers, that's your the turtle that's walking around. Those are characters that they just basically do one thing usually, and that's it.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know what the only thing I know that she likes is she likes Fortnite.
Yep. The twins like Fortnite when they were 12 and 13. That was their thing.
But that's about it. But when it comes to life, she just has no clue. She ain't like me. I'm telling you right now. When I was back in the day, we're talking about back in '95. I was already talking about. I can't wait till I get into high school so I can start working, making some money. I can't wait to go to college. I knew I didn't want to be fireman or nothing like that, but I knew I wanted to be in the office. I said I wanted to be in the office. I don't care what I'm doing. I just want to be in the office where I can look down outside at the traffic and the busy city. So I had kind of a vision, but yeah, this generation, oh,
They're going to live with their families the rest of their lives. They don't want to work. They don't want to do nothing. My daughter, I swear, my daughter and her fiance, they are so lazy. Like, they'll be like this, we should do this. And then they'll be like, no. Like, there's no motivation these days, like, none. But it's our fault, really, because our generation, when we were kids, our parents pushed us to go mow yards, go, babysit, go out there, get a job. If you want to do something, you want to go, the movies or something, you need to earn the money yourself. You want school clothes, you have to pay for it. At least my parents did. My parents didn't pay for shit for us. We had to pay for everything we had. And then like my daughter, I didn't make her do that, and that's my fault. I didn't want her growing up like I did, having to earn everything. I wanted her to have fun, be able to go places and do things. But she just is an artist. She just like to. She never wanted to do anything. She just wanted to draw, and which she still does. She's learned to be a tattoo artist, and she works at the petrol station. But yeah, I don't think kids are motivated nowadays. And do you notice how much they want for like you go to McDonald's and they're getting this much an hour, and a teenager will walk in there and they'll be like, "Oh, well, Arby's is paying more." Like, what the fuck? And then a lot of the families now, like if you look at the households in Oregon, it will be like the grandparents and the parents and the kids all living in the same house.
Okay, well, so with that situation there, now I understand um the whole 10 members of the family living in the same residence. I get that because Oregon, I'm sure, has a high cost of living. You have places like New York, which, like hell, anyone's going to be able to afford, $2,000 a month when your job is only going to pay probably 15, 16, 17 an hour. So
Right.
I get that. That's normal. Now, in Arkansas, Missouri, Oklahoma, you can get your own place. Okay. So, and because I've had some incidents where women was telling me that men had roommates, and I was like, I'm thinking that like they're like 22, 23, 21. These motherfuckers are like my age. And I'm like, hold on, why do you
Yeah.
have roommates? Because there's no city. I mean, the only city in Arkansas would be Little Rock. That's a little bit expensive, but even then, you can find an apartment for. Well, actually, this area here is actually more expensive than Little Rock. So I was like, nah. See, y'all doing y'all doing too much.
I haven't
So
found any man that has his own place. Every man I found here has a roommate. And I'm talking about small towns like Joplin, Carthage, all these places that where you can get a place for like 400 a month. Yeah, I have not found. And then that's a flag too, because you can't afford 400 by yourself a month. But and then another big thing, I had a guy message me, and he said, "Oh baby, if you let me move in with you, I'll satisfy your needs every night." Didn't say hi. Didn't. That's exactly what he wrote to me. Like, okay. And this guy was like 51, 52, or something like that. I don't remember his exact age. I knew he was in his 50s though, and I was just like, wow. And then um, this guy in Tulsa, he said, well, I'm having problems. I'm getting ready to have surgery on my shoulder. He was like, and I'm waiting for my workman's comp to come through. He's like, I have an apartment, so if you want to, you can come move up here with me and pay the bills until my workman's comp comes through. So I guess because I'm that, I think I must be desperate or something like that. Not really sure.
ah,
But and then like I had a thing about my teeth on there, and then I was getting so many comments like, "Ooh, I definitely want to meet you. I know you could take all my dick in your mouth and all this shit." And I was just like, "Wow."
well, I mean, if you post stuff like that, you are gonna get what you.
Well, no, because I don't want to. I didn't want to be a liar and be like not telling nobody. So I just posted, "Hey, I do have a top denture. I just got my teeth done." And I was like, showed before pictures, normal without my teeth, after pictures of my teeth. And I was not trying to be upfront about it because I didn't want anybody to say, oh, you're one of those fake bitches with the fake eyelashes and butts and all that. But then I took that stuff down because I started getting all the posts. But then, when you tell somebody you have a denture, then they're like, well, you lied on your post. You didn't say that. So it's like a catch 22. Like, you're either lying or you're not lying. You know what I mean? So I don't know. And then, yeah. So really, I haven't really talked to anybody. I just looked at a couple messages and I was like, I'm done. And we started messaging. I'm like, I don't know, is he normal or not normal? I haven't met any normal people.
I don't
Why
know.
do
I mean, I consider myself a little bit weird. But all nerds are typically weird. So,
yeah.
but y'all, I don't know. Y'all say y'all are meeting these guys online, but
I didn't meet anybody online. My exes, I've met in person.
that's probably the problem. Now I think about it.
My daughter's dad, I met in Vegas when I was 18, and we were together a long time. We didn't
Well, I ain't
actually
talking. I'm not talking
get
about the
together.
normal people.
Yeah, and then my ex, I met him in person. I was in Tulsa, and he was fixing the cable down there somewhere, and he came up to me and started talking to me, and like he lived 5 hours, so I was just like, he had kids, and he lived 5 hours, and I was also just found out that I had cervical cancer, so I was going through a lot of stuff. But me and him talked on the phone for a long time before we even saw each other again because I was like up in Springfield at the cancer institute a long time, and then um, when I actually did meet him, we couldn't even have sex for like I don't even know. We talked for probably like 4 or 5 months, and then I went up there, and then when we actually started dating and got together, we couldn't have sex for at least another 8 months after that because I had to wait for my surgery and all everything to be cleared and healed up because they took I had a full hysterectomy, well, almost full hysterectomy. They left part of my ovary in, so it wouldn't throw me into menopause. So no babies, no periods no more, no nothing. I'm good. Which I love that. But I think he just needed me there because he was trying to get the kids, and I was going through all that stuff, and he was there for me, and so we mentally
Oh,
connected more
struggle love. Yeah,
physically.
that's that struggle love. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, we know about that. Okay.
yeah. But this time around, I've never chosen anybody that I've been with. I just would meet somebody like my daughter's dad, and then um, he got sick or taking care of him off and on for a couple of years. And it was after my fiance died, so I wasn't trying to be with anybody. And he almost died. I was in the hospital, and then he almost died and stuff. And I don't know, somehow I just fell in love with him. But we weren't together sexually for years um, because I never saw him like that. And then my ex, yeah, I think he just needed somebody for the kids to be a mom, and I just needed to be needed because like pampering. I just love being with my man. I love spoiling him. I love sucking on the dick. I love the balls. I love, massaging him. I just like rubbing his head. I like, doing little things for him. If I'm at the store and he likes Snickers bars or something, I'm gonna get him a Snickers bar, or if I have something cute that I think he'll like. But I don't want a man that wants me to do it, that expects me to do it. I want a man that appreciates me doing stuff on my own, not somebody that will go, "Ooh, I need some Air Jordans," and be like, "Call me up, hey babe, I need these Air Jordans." I had one guy tell me that he would make me his girl or woman or something like that if I bought him something, and I was just like, why do these people think I'm desperate? Like, do they not know people in the West Coast love big women? Like, I am not desperate. If I wanted a man, I would have been with a man. And then, I haven't been with anybody in like a year and 7 months. But that's just because, um, like I said, when I give myself to somebody, I'm theirs, and I just haven't, found a spot where I'm going to stop at. So why find somebody or have a one night stand when I know it's not going to go nowhere? So now that I'm back here and I know I'm going to stay somewhere, I kind of want to find somebody that, I can connect with. But I don't know what I want. I just know I don't want a one night stand or a friend with benefits. But I also don't want to move in together either. You know what I mean? I don't know. Does that sound bad? I sure.
Yeah, you should know if you are on the dating side. You should know.
Well, no, I mean unsure, like about them moving in together eventually and all that. I mean, there's a difference, like a dating site. I mean, you gotta eventually date somebody to figure out where it's gonna go.
You
I
talking about the
haven't
moving
really
in?
dated or met anybody in a year and a half, because I've just been traveling and stuff like that. That's why I waited, but I do want to get with somebody. I don't know if I want necessarily. I don't want to get a guy that needs to move in with me right away because he wants me to pay bills and stuff like that. And I don't want a man to think that I'm moving with him for the same thing. I want him to be able to support himself, me to be able to support myself, and eventually we'll figure out if we want to bring it together, or you know what I mean. I don't want us to need each other. I want us to want each other. I want him to be like, "Ooh, I want that bitch." Like that bitch is my girl. I don't want him to say, "Ooh, I need her. She'll pay for this," or "I need her because she buys me this." You know what I mean? There's a difference between somebody wanting you and someone needing you. And my ex, I didn't realize until it was over that he needed me. He didn't really want me. He just needed me. And like when I met, like I didn't even know, like when I met him, I didn't even know for like a while that he didn't even have a car until I went up there, and I found out he never even had a car. So I got him a van. I bought him a van for him and the kids to get around. So I think I just realized that I was just spoiling people. Like I'm just a giver. And this time I want somebody that's going to give back, to give me that love, give me the hugs, give me the kissing and the support. And I don't know. I don't want it to be one sided.
Sound like you're looking for a traditional relationship. That's what it sounds like to me.
I don't know what a traditional relationship is, but
My gosh. Mm-mm-mm. All right, so
so my bad. Like, I don't know. Every time you go quiet, I'm like, did I say something wrong?
well, I'm taking notes. You know.
You're taking notes.
Hmm.
You're like, she's horrible.
Speaking of notes, what did you do for your birthday?
What do I do for my birthday?
Mm,
Um, this year on my birthday, I celebrated alone in Salem and then DoorDash. Um, I don't do anything for my birthday. It's just,
mm-mm-mm.
I always
So,
make sure everybody else has a good birthday though.
so you didn't decide that, hey, for my birthday today, you know what? It's my birthday today. I'm gonna go and, I'm gonna go to this fast food, not fast food, this restaurant that I've been seeing on the corner, but never gotten a chance to do so. Or, you know what? I'm gonna go hiking.
Well,
You know.
I do that on a normal day. Like sometimes I'll just be like, hey, I want to go do this, or I'll just go to the beach, or you know what I mean, go up to Washington, or I don't need a special day for that. But honestly, I would be more inclined to celebrate your birthday and make sure you had a good birthday. Make sure you had, if you don't like cake, had the pie, or had the cheesecake or whatever you're into, and make sure that you got that cute little outfit that you wanted, or if you wanted, I don't know, a new game or whatever. Um, I like giving gifts. I'm not really materialistic like that. I enjoy watching other people being happy. I love watching the kids on Christmas open gifts up. Maybe it's just because my exes, they didn't celebrate holidays. So, I mean, they didn't celebrate Christmas or Valentine's Day or birthdays or anything like that. So I never had a gift from anybody on my birthday, except for my older sister, and then used to my mom, but my mom and little sister died. So I don't know. It's just a kind of another day to me. So I don't know. But my daughter just turned 21 on September 2nd. That was like a big deal. I tried to be here on time, but I got a flat tire coming out here. So I got here at like 2 in the morning on the 3rd. I was so mad. I didn't get to see her, but I tried to be here for her 21st, and then she got married a week later. So, yeah. So my baby's grown.
Okay. Okay.
So that's why I'm saying I don't have no bills because, like, um, when I've been traveling, I'll just get motel rooms, and then I had my car. I love my car. Somebody totaled it in Oregon. I had to get this van, but I have a full size bed in the back of my van, so I can go to the lake or the beach or somewhere, and I can just open the door and I can watch the sunset. I can barbecue, and then I can go get a motel room, or I can, I'm back here now, so I have family everywhere. But I don't want to live near my family. That's the only thing I know. I know for sure I'm not going to live in any of the towns that they live nearby. I want to be close enough that I can see them like within 4 or 5 hours, far enough away I don't have to see them every day. So, yeah.
You're so funny.
Why?
Huh. So wait a minute. So you never been married then?
No, never.
Huh.
If
Interesting.
they kill this part, you're going to have to murder me, kill me, like ex me because I'm not getting divorced ever.
Okay.
So, no. A couple times a couple times I came close. We went to Vegas for 10 days to get married, and the day of our wedding my godmother died. Um right there. She was supposed to come to our wedding, she died. So I don't know, I took that as a bad omen, which was good because then I found out later, he got that woman pregnant in spring. Like, I came close. And if I would have married him, I would have never left him. Ever. Never. Because if I say I'm gonna be with you, I'm gonna be with you no matter what, good, bad, otherwise. So yeah, I can't do that, and I think that's why they were pushing so hard to marry me because like he knew. But yeah, I don't think I'll ever get married. I don't know. I'm a long term person, obviously, but that's a very mental commitment to me.
Well, that's not the point. The point is, are you looking to get married or are you not?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, I think it really depends on the man and what marriage means to him. If marriage means a tax write off to him because of taxes, no. But if a man truly wants to get married because he wants to spend the rest of our lives together, he wants to build together, he wants to become one, and he wants to grow as a couple and a foundation, then of course.
Well, the tax write off would be part of that foundation.
What?
So the tax write off, actually, there's no tax write off, but you would technically, well, if you're a single person and you're making a certain, if you're in the second level of the tax bracket and you get married, there's a possibility of going to the beginning tax bracket. But again, that's part of the foundation. That's actually the reason why it's better to be married and working.
Well, right. Well, he wanted me to marry him because he was on child support for so many people and he wasn't married. But if we would have got married, he would have had another dependent in the house, and they would have had to stop doing child support on two of the other people, two of the other kids by different moms, because our household would have been 5 people, no, 6 people. And if you had 6 people in the household, something about um, if he had to support if he had to support 6 people with his check, then they would have cut the child support off for the not his ex-wife with the 2 older kids because they were first, but for the 2 younger kids.
Oh shoot, that's
So those moms would have been able to get child support for him. The state would have had to pay for it. It would have been his obligation. But
wow.
I was at the the court, like the circuit court lady. But I don't really know. I wasn't really paying attention because I wasn't gonna marry him for that reason. So
I mean, that is smart. I'll give him that.
yeah,
Okay. So, all right. So you say you had
yeah,
no kids. Hmm.
yeah. He had 4 kids living with him and him, so that's 5.
Well, I'm talking
But you
about
had to
you.
have 6 or something. So
Now, how many kids did you have?
I just had my daughter,
Oh.
but we didn't move together until she graduated high school. I never let another man come. I've never once had a man at my house. Even after me and her dad split up, I never once. She never saw me with another man. She never saw me do anything with her daddy. No. Yeah. I don't even have my family come over to my house. We had an apartment for 5 years in Joplin, and I think my dad and sister came over twice. And they were waiting outside to use the bathroom, and then we went to the mall, and then we go eat. My house is my sanctuary. That's where me and my family, that's our peace. Like, you shouldn't have other people in your peace. And you're like, I would never tell them anything that happened between me and my man or anybody that I was with. It's none of their business. And then, if you tell somebody, like, this is probably why I don't have a lot of girlfriends, because they were always telling me their business. And I personally don't believe in that. Because if you tell somebody your business, right? And then you go back and you make up with that person, now these people are going to look at your man and be like, oh, but he did this to her and he did this to her. And then they're going to be shady when you've already forgiven him. You know what I mean? Or you have a woman and they like your man, then they're going to be trying to go behind your back to hook up with your man because of how great he is, because you keep telling him how great he is. And he does this for me and he does that for me. And their men don't do that. So, like, yeah, I just think that, your household should be your household. And what happens between y'all stays behind closed doors. I mean, that's just the way it should be. That way, if there is something going on with you guys and you do break up and the makeup it's none of anybody's business. Like, they shouldn't even know that you're breaking up, because, like, that's between you and him. And you don't, especially if you guys, like, have been together a long time and you guys got business acquaintance together, you got business together, and you don't want that interfering with the rest of your lives. Because if you loved each other at one time, then you should be able to still, like my mom and her ex had a business together, like several of them, and they were together, oh my God, like a long time, like 15 years. They never got married, but they had businesses together. And when they split, it was like, a mutual thing. And neither one of them was in each other's. They still went out together on the business side. They never had the drama. And that's because they communicated together and they kept everybody out their business. So, I don't know. I just think that's a good way to do things.
I see. Okay. Okay.
But I mean, I don't want, like, I don't know if that's just the way. I'm just giving you my opinion. I don't know, like, if that's right, wrong, or other thing the way I am,
Okay.
because I don't want to push nobody's, like, stuff. You know what I mean? Like, I believe everybody has their own choice of the way things should happen and the way things should be, and I don't think they should have to push that on somebody else. Kind of like religion. I don't have a religion because I believe in everything. If you believe in church, then that's great. If this other person believes in that church, that's great. I want them to be happy. I want them to believe in what they believe in. And who am I to say that they're wrong? And who am I to say that they're right? So I just believe in, if you tell me that you believe in vampires, I will believe in them with you. Because who am I to say that they're not real? I'm not going to take that away from you. So it's not that I don't believe in anything. It's just I believe that everything is possible. And I believe if somebody is happy and it makes them happy to believe in God, or uh, whatever the Muslims believe in and all that, I'm down for them because that's what's making them happy. As long as they don't try to, push it on me, I'm good. So, And then I never got baptized because I went to a lot of different churches because I always, if I get married and my man is into religion, of course I'm going to start going into that religion and learning it for him, not necessarily because I want to do it, but it's because he is into that and that's what he believes and I believe in. So if I believe in him, I'm going to believe in what he believes.
Okay.
So I don't know.
Okay. Okay. Well,
What?
I have nothing to add. I mean, you already know.
Yeah. Are you religious? Did I just put your church down? Sorry, I did.
No, I grew up Baptist, but I never. I don't have a problem with religion, but I see religion as a, how to put this. There are people out there that need religion to guide them in life because they don't know how to be a good person or a productive person. So religion
Right.
is good for that matter. Now, because of that, and maybe just because I got a big head, maybe I have an ego or something. I don't feel like that I'm that bad of a person. I don't go around talking about people. I don't gossip. I stay in my lane. I do what I do. You know, I try to treat people the way I want to be treated. So, and I keep a very firm grasp in my life. So I don't have toxic people. I don't have people disrupting
Right.
my peace at all. So, you know, but yes, I grew up Baptist, but I've done a couple different religions, Christianity. Haven't done Muslim. I think that's about it. But I don't know. It's never connected.
So do you think that you're a god?
Do I think I'm a guy?
No, a god? Do you think you're like a god and a king? Do you think like every man's a king and a god and the woman should worship him or
I don't know about all that the worshiping thing. My belief is this: men and women are definitely are well. let's hold on. Let's back up. So in biology, because this is the thing that this is what troubles me the most. Everybody went to grade school, well, not grade school, high school, and we all had to take biology. That was I don't care what state you was in, and we all found out the differences between men and women. So we knew that men had a certain role in life and in the world, and we know that men built the world. We know that women have a certain place as well, but their place is more social and uh well, for procreation basically. So yes, I do think that the man should be the head of the household just because trust me when I say this, I have worked with women in the workplace and I'm talking about a company that was ran by women and they literally drove me insane. In fact, they couldn't even keep employees because they're inconsistent. They don't make sound decisions. They don't think logically. They do things based upon emotion instead of on logic, which is dangerous. Now, with that being said, I do think the guy should be the head of the household, but I think that the woman should also be the supporting role. So, you know what? I play games all the time, team based games. If you ever play sports, you have you always have the point guard, you have the quarterback. I don't know about volleyball what they have there. Baseball, you have what the pitcher. So those are the people that are the more the leaders, right? but then other people have their own roles to do, right? So
Mhm.
as far as when you say worshiping, I don't think women should worship men. I think women should actually help men build what they need to build. Now, with that being said, y'all shouldn't be going after Pookie and Ray Ray to get y'all shot up, right? To get you,
After who?
yeah, that too.
Wait, who should we go after?
Pookie and Ray Ray. Oh yeah. We call them Pookies and Ray Ray. So that's basically who you seem like you've been meeting. These are men that run the streets. They don't want to work. They don't have
Oh,
anything going on in life, but they want you to provide financially. They want you to be their mother. They want you to do all the things that they technically should be doing. Right? So we call them Pookies
all
and
the
Ray
men.
Rays.
Okay.
hmm And in the black community, it's really the guys that like to run the streets, so they don't really have a job. They just do drugs. They make money, but it's not consistent.
Right.
And you got, as a woman, you gotta kind of watch your back because you don't know who the hell's gonna come and maybe shoot up your house. You don't know who's gonna come around and follow you and kidnap you,
Right.
or even just straight up kill you because of something that his dumb ass did. So it's, you know, but that's just my stance on that. Now, me personally, I'm just gonna be blunt. I'm just looking for a woman that will cook. That's all the fuck I want. I just want a woman that will cook. I can't for 20. No, I'm 39. So yes, for 25 years, I've been trying to find a woman that will just. I don't care about her doing all the cleaning and whatever else women are supposed to do. I just want her to cook. That's it.
What do you want her to cook?
Food. Shoot, it's when you want to
But
come
what
over.
kind of food? Like, what kind of food are you trying? Like, what do you mean a woman to? Okay, so you've been.
Women don't cook.
What are you talking about? They don't cook. Like what? They don't cook
They
like
don't
steaks and
cook.
stuff, or
They don't cook. Nothing.
I don't know any women that don't cook for
I
their
can.
men
I
or
will
other.
point you to a whole slew of them online. They don't cook. You know what they do? They go.
Maybe
They
you're
they
trying
go to a
to go with too
restaurant.
young. Yeah, you're trying for too young of people, I guess.
No,
But
these are older
what kind of
people.
like?
These are older
Are you talking?
women that have kids, grandkids. They
And
don't
they
cook.
cook. I don't. Yeah, you're. I don't know
I'm
who
trying.
you're meeting. Maybe that's why they're single. I don't know. Like, I
My
mean, I
listen.
can't.
My daughter's mom don't cook.
But wow.
That's what I'm saying. My daughter's mom does not cook. I'm trying to figure out how the hell my daughter eats. Now I do know that she's married, so I'm guessing the guy cooks.
Or takeout, I guess. Maybe.
Probably
I
so
don't know.
because I know my mom was talking about something about them. They seem to be going out a lot, and that she's putting on weight and stuff. But yeah, that's basically it. But that's all I've asked for. I've asked for nothing else. You know what? I could even go without sex in the relationship if I had to just have her just cook.
So you
But
just
that's
want to
all I want.
hire people just to hire you a personal chef? Like
No, I just want.
crazy.
I mean, I don't know. I don't
Heard
get it
anybody say
because
that?
hmm.
What do you want? What do you want cooked though? Like okay, so I just want to know what you like cooked. You like roast, you like meatloaf, you like pork chops, you like steak. Are you like a seafood man? Are you like soul food? Are you Italian? What kind of food do you want this woman to cook?
She can just cook casserole dishes. I mean, they don't take that long. I
Are you
mean,
serious? Oh my
well, I
gosh.
mean,
No,
because
my
I'm
ex.
assuming that they are working too. So if you're working, I don't expect. I mean, I know you're tired like I am, but casserole dishes, I figured don't take that much, take that long.
Yep. Working, you could have a crock pot going. You could set it. You can have a roast going all day. they have the timer thing now that well, I not now. They've had it for years, and I used to set it in there, set the timer. It would start the meat, and by the time I got done, the meat, potatoes, veggies were done. And then like if you start in the morning, if you want soup, you just start it in the morning, and it shuts off at a certain time. They have the air fryer, so you can cook chicken in like 25 minutes. You can cook steak in like 8 minutes. I mean, there's no sense that you shouldn't like I mean, especially like okay, so I cooked for 8 people. So we had to have two meats, three sides, some kind of roll, and a dessert every night. And that was every night. And I'm not talking about hamburger helper or rice-a-roni. We couldn't have that shit. It had to be full grown meals. So, and you're telling me you can't get a woman to like cook you a little casserole?
You know, I can barely get a woman. I'm gonna be honest with you. In life, in general, I can barely get a woman to even look at me and smile. So
Mm.
I'm lucky if I get that. Now, what I do get a lot of is,
What's wrong with you? Why won't a woman look at you and smile? What is wrong? What is your
well,
flaw? Like, why are
well,
they looking at you?
cause my color, that's number one, and then you know
Um,
black. You,
women like black men. That's wrong. Cause
no. They
you're
do. You're right. They do. They don't like me though. They like the darker black men, and they like the Pookies and Ray Rays because they're exciting. You know, you don't know what's gonna
yeah.
happen. You don't know if you're gonna die tomorrow, or if you're gonna have to run away from the cops, or if the cops gonna bust up in your house. You
What?
know, at nighttime. Women like excitement apparently. See me
No.
when I come home. You know, we come home, we chill, in sack. I might do some. Actually, you know what? I don't even do gaming because I haven't had a girlfriend since I started gaming. But beforehand, just chill. You know, when we go to bed, make love, and then go to work. That was a routine. And then, now me, I'm a big firm believer. Well, there's a requirement for me. At least twice a month, there has to be date nights. So that's one of
I
my
d-
requirements. Date nights, yeah, for the intimacy and stuff.
Yeah, I know.
Like kind of like at a pub or restaurant. The movies, I guess we could. I don't know about the movie. I don't consider that intimate. Maybe.
How long
I don't.
was your last relationship?
My last, shoot, they last about on average about 3 months. That one lasted about 2.5 weeks. Not 2.5 weeks, two and a half
So
months.
you're like the man. So what is going on with this? Like, are you choosing the wrong women? Because I've never met a
Well,
man like
here's the
I didn't even
thing.
know men existed.
All I can do is go off of a woman's words. So when I ask women, "What are you looking for?" and they're saying that they're looking for a relationship, I have to
Hmm.
start then asking additional questions. So I ask, about their past relationships, about what they grew up, how they grew up. Did they? I don't date women that have dramas and traumas. So if you've been raped or abused, I can't date you because you have issues, and those issues will be exposed. So I can't do that. So yeah, I mean, and then we try it out, and then I guess they get to a point where they're like, you know what, this is boring. I gotta come up with some problems, or you know,
No.
figure out how can I get away from this guy without really like saying I don't want to be with him. Oh, I know what I'll do. I'll just make make some stuff up and be mad at him for random ass reasons. That way he can be mad at me, and then he'll probably get rid of me, and then I can go off and do what I want to do. So yeah,
What?
I kind of figured that's what's going on, and it's cool.
That's how these questions. So okay. So you answer your own questions to me. What are you looking for? What are you trying to do?
Oh, now I am actually looking for a relationship.
But
Long,
what does that mean?
well,
Relationship is.
we're talking about long term that could potentially lead
Mhm.
to marriage. Now, when it comes to marriage, I'm not looking to procreate. Okay, what I am doing is I'm looking to combine finances so we can actually both retire together, right?
Mhm.
Because right now, hell, doggone toilet paper was doggone $6. And I used to buy it for like three for a whole like I think 8 or 12 of them. So that's the goal, right?
Yeah.
Now, as far as my living situation, I pay my own bills, all my stuff is good. So anyone can come and live with me and not have to pay bills or anything. Now, if they do work, I will just tell them, hey, save your money, right? Save your money,
Hmm.
put it in some stocks, IRA. If you have a job that has a 401k, sign up for it. Bump that up to about 10%. You know, um, I say do stocks as well, brokerage account. Just save the money. And then if you have a dream that you need to pursue, this would be the chance to do it. You know, so that's just my stance right now, because we getting up there in age. So
That's true.
now, I'm not looking for anyone that has things in common, because no one's gonna have anything in common. First off, it's kind of odd to have a woman have things in common with a man, just because, unless you grew up around guys and you just took on those hobbies and interests. So if you have interests with me, that's cool. We can do those things together.
Yeah.
Now the sex thing, like I told you, I'm bored. I'm boring. You know what I'm saying? I don't require all that extra stuff. Matter of fact, I will say that people that require extra stuff sexually typically have problems orgasming. That I've
Yes.
noticed. So that's
Okay,
weird.
so go through making love. Tell me what that is.
Making love. Well, so honestly, it's spontaneous with me. It technically should start off. I know how it should start off. It should start off at the beginning of the day, flirtation, flirting with work. I actually can kind of do that now because I have my own office and I don't have to worry about. I can be on my phone. It's not a big deal because I'm doing my work. But before I couldn't be on my phone, so that was hard. But yeah, it's supposed to start with the flirting, just the banner, and it's supposed to last throughout the day and lead up to that night, right?
Hmm.
That's how it's supposed to go. But with me, it's just like you may not hear nothing from my ass. I'll just be working, and then when I come home, I'll hit you up. No, I do try to hit up people during the daytime, you know.
Yeah, but
But
what do you consider love? I'm okay. Don't get me wrong. I've done a lot of things sexually,
yeah, we noticed.
but
We noticed that.
never. I've never been with a romantic guy. So
Well,
I'm
what
just
is
asking.
well, men
Consider
by
love?
nature isn't they're not romantic. So
Yeah,
what? So when we take you out to like dates and dinner and stuff like that, we're not doing it for us. Trust
I didn't.
me.
I've never done that before, though. Yeah,
I
I've
kind
never
of
been with somebody that
well, yeah, I kind of
like
figured that.
the
I kind of figured.
dating thing. I've actually never been like in a regular, I don't think, relationship because, um, like I said, I met my daughter's dad and he was sick and I took care of him. And then we just grew a bond together throughout the years when I was taking care of him when he was sick. And then we just ended
Mm-hmm.
up together. But I basically, he was my best friend and I was like his nurse, basically, is what it was the whole 18 years together because I was always taking care of him. I mean, I loved him. He pushed me to go for manager at the casinos and he pushed me to go for this and that. But typically, I paid the bills. He stayed home with our daughter
But
when
wait a
the
minute,
baby
he was sick or disabled or something like that.
so when I met him, it was my best friend's father-in-law. We worked at the same place and he got really sick and
Okay,
so
that
he
makes sense.
worked nobody to take care of him
Mm-hmm.
and she had kids. So I lived like maybe 3.5 blocks down the road. So I would go over there after I got off work. I would take care of him. I'd make him food. I would do his laundry, clean his bedpan, When he needed sponge baths, I'd give him a sponge bath. Just take care of him. Like, I mean, I was 18 years old. He was old. He was like 50. So I wasn't
Girl.
thinking of him like in that light. I was just trying to help him out because he was sick, and that was my friend's, father-in-law. And then he would get better, and then a couple like months later, whatever, he got sick, and then he was okay for like a year and a half, and then he got really sick and ended up in the hospital. Now the whole time, which I didn't realize it because I was young, I wasn't thinking about it. The whole time I would go over there, even when he wasn't sick, we would sit there, listen to music, watch movies together. We worked all day together. So I had to be to work at 7, he had to work at 10. So when he came in at 10, he would always bring me breakfast. And then when I got off, I would always bring him lunch. So we did this like forever. And so when he ended up in the hospital, I would go to the hospital every day. He ended up flatlining, and they had to bring him back with the paddles. So he was in a coma. When he woke up, I was there next to him holding his hand. And when he woke up, he was kind of like out of it and stuff like that. And he squeezed my hand really hard. And then he like grabbed my head and bent me down, and he was like, "I love you, you silly bitch." Because that was just like I said I would never love anybody or take care of anybody. And I was just like, whatever, I love you too. And then like a couple days later he actually got really better. And then he said, I have to tell you something. I was like, what? He said, we've been in a relationship for quite a few years now. And I was like, what? And he was like, when I first met you, you said you never cook, clean, or do laundry for no man. Like, I know, and I won't. He said, but all this time, what do? You cook, you clean, you do laundry for me. He said, we sit there, we talk about everything. You know my life, I know your life. He said, I helped you get through that tragedy, with Casper. He's like, you helped me get through all this medical issues. And he was like, that's what love is. That's what a relationship is. And
Mm.
I was like, okay. And he was like, so we're dating, we're in a relationship. And then he asked me to marry him. And of course, I told him no. And then we started having sex within like 7 months after that. My daughter was born on his 54th birthday. So, like I said, we knew each other like 4 years when she was born. And then we were just together until she was in ninth grade, and he got really sick again. And he didn't want her to see him like that. He was really sick. And he just turned 75 and she just turned 21. So so I don't even know if I was so young, and my fiance had already died. So I don't even know if I was in love with him and in a relationship with him, or he just made me think I was. So
Well, relationships are transactional. Actually,
yeah.
marriage is transactional, so that makes sense.
So we kind of had a marriage because I took care of him, he took care of me. You know, he he took care of me like mentally, like building my self esteem up. Tell me, I'd be like, oh, I can't go for that, and I would go for the job and get it. And he just he made me build my confidence up, and we had a beautiful child, and then he was working, but we were paying 400 a week for daycare, and I was making a lot more money than him. And his check, by the time taxes were taken out, it wasn't covering daycare, so it was just cheaper for him to stay home with her. And then towards the end of the relationship, he paid the bills somewhat. I owned a daycare for 4 years, so bills that I don't know. It was off and on. Sometimes he would pay the bills. Sometimes I'd pay the bills, depending where we lived at, who was making more money. But whoever wasn't paying the bills, like you said, we would have it in the savings account or whatever, or we would have it like if I paid the rent, maybe he made enough to pay the electric or vice versa, because we always wanted to make sure both of us had whatever we wanted. So money with us really didn't matter because all of our money went in the same account. So um, one time he wanted a car and called me, was like, babe, I want the car. And I'm like, get it. And then another time he called me, said, I found a car I think you would like. And then he bought it for me. So we just had that trust. We never worried about money because even when we were broke, we knew we were going to make it because we had each other's backs. So, I mean, me and him may not have had the sex life together, but we had that together that most people don't have.
Mm-hmm. That's what it sounds like. Hey
Yeah.
Google. Set temperature to 70 degrees. So,
You like your is.
oh yeah, yeah. This place is tech, tech, teched out, teched out.
And I don't know anything about tech. Before, when I was younger, I knew all about it, but then throughout the years,
Mm-mm-mm. Well, that's technically, I guess, maybe not your job to know. Maybe not.
I
Okay,
that my
so you want to meet
I
up
don't know,
tomorrow?
how long were you with your baby's mom? It could have been very
Oh,
long. She didn't cook.
no, she don't know how to cook. Cause I cooked for her two kids, but we was together for 8 months.
So, what's your longest relationship you've ever
8
had?
months.
Your whole life has been 8.
8 months because I don't. Here's the thing. First off, I don't really date. Okay, I think dating is for teenagers. Technically, what you should be doing is going out here trying to find somebody. Because you gotta remember, we didn't have, um, heck, the internet barely was around back in the early 2000s. We didn't have
Right, right.
Instagram and all these dating sites. So, you basically found someone that you was attracted to
Hmm.
physically and sexually, and then you found out some things, see what the values were, if they was religious or if they wanted kids, if they want, and as long as those things align, then you just basically went out and then you just got to know each other over the years and then try to figure each other out, what you like, what you don't like, and make it work.
Yeah.
That's how it's supposed to be. Unfortunately, it's not like that now. That's why the divorce rate, I'm sure, is probably a lot higher now, right? So yeah, back then I didn't date. I literally was trying to find a wife. So while the relationships lasted for about 3 months on average, a lot of it didn't have nothing to do with me. Now in my 20s, again, I had to get rid of a lot of girls because they started. I'm going to school, working, and they're up here
Mhm.
texting me. Well, I haven't heard from you. Are you mad at me? I'm like, no. Well, I haven't heard from you. I'm like, okay. Did you text me? Well, no, but you could text me. I'm like, well, so I go back and forth on that. And then it got to a point where they just started adding additional stuff. And again, I'm working and going to school. I ain't got time for
Right.
the bullshittery. So I would talk to them. I would try to reason with them. They started yelling and fussing, cussing, and I would say, hey, you know what? Can't do this. So that's how I am. I don't waste time. I don't do pointless stuff. So yeah. Matter of
You're
fact,
just on done with
yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah. you know. But now lately, the last 10 years, women have just been running off. I ain't got nothing. I can't do anything. All I can do is just do what I do. But like I said, a
Wow.
lot of them just not, they're not ready for actual true relationship. I've been getting a lot of, well, we don't have anything in common because for some reason they think that that men and women are supposed to have things in common, and that's what creates and maintains a relationship.
Mm.
That's how I see it. So I was like, well, good luck with that because everybody that I'm talking to said that they've had their ex husband and them had things in common. Ex husband went out and cheated on it on them.
Well, ex-husband means ex, so obviously it didn't work out having stuff in common. One,
Exactly.
but like if you have everything in common, then you're gonna be bored because there's gonna be nothing
Well,
like. And then on top, like I don't do girls' nights and I don't go out and I've never done any of that. But I do like for the man to go out. Because when he goes out or he does his own thing or plays his own game or does his golf or whatever, I can do my own thing. I can sit there and watch my shows or I can, you know, like go thrift store shopping or go to garage sales or something without him, being bored or being mad I'm not at home. So women are like, I want to go out to the clubs and all that. And I'm like, babe, I want to go to bingo, or babe, I want to go to the thrift store, babe, I want to go to garage sale. And men usually don't like even any of that stuff. So yeah, I
well,
I don't know. talking about.
You
Like,
can go to
but I,
bingo, but I know I ain't going to damn bingo. You know.
yeah, well, no, I'm not like most women though. Like my sister and her friends, they like to go out to the clubs and go dancing, and they like to drink and party, and but I've just never been into that. I'm more of like a family person. I'm more about, working, going home, taking care of the kids, taking care of family, and then, I'm
Well,
kind of I'm just a simple person.
okay, that's good. We'll see. We shall see. Oh,
You shall see. Like I'm lying.
all right. So let me take a look at something. Um, you want to meet up? So there we go. I sent you the address.
Did you send it
Now,
on or regular?
actually, I don't know why I didn't do. What am I doing? What am I doing? Um, there we go. I just do it like that. All right.
Okay.
So, do I like my head
Address.
rubbed?
Yeah, you're an hour and 23 minutes away from me. You're only 89 miles. Like that's like closer than going to Springfield. You're like super close.
You live in Nixa. Nixa.
No, no, no. I am, well, technically right now I'm in Joplin, but I go between here and Springfield and Cassville the last 2 weeks.
Oh,
But
yeah. Joplin
like
is
I
different.
said,
Yeah.
yeah. So my daughter lives in Joplin. My sister lives in Carthage, and my dad lives in Cassville. So, since the wedding, I've just been driving back and forth. Like I said, I went to Kansas City a couple of days, stayed up there in a motel. I just went to Tulsa over the weekend. Um, I have my sister has never had kids. She lives by herself in a 2 bedroom house. So I have a room there if I want to stay there. My daughter has a 2 bedroom apartment in Joplin that they just moved into, and they set me up a room there. So, and then I could go to my dad's house, which they have 3 extra bedrooms, so I can go there. So I pretty
Okay.
much have just been visiting family because I haven't been back here the last couple of years. So I just went around seeing everybody. And like I said, now that the wedding's over, my aunt and everybody left yesterday and today, so I don't have to worry about any relatives. So now I can focus on where I want to live at. If I want to keep doing DoorDash, I think I might be doing Walmart delivery. Um, I don't know. There's so many things I could do. I could go back to the call center. I could go be a manager at a motel. I could work at the casino again. I was manager of front desk, PBX, and reservation. And big. I mean, I could open a dig. There's so many things I could do. I haven't.
Hmm.
I don't know what I'm gonna do yet. I just got back here.
So, yeah, baby steps. Baby steps.
Yeah. And originally, I was planning on going back to the West Coast, but
I wouldn't do that.
yeah, my parents just got married, and then I'm getting older, and I I think I'm ready to just. I was ready a couple of years ago, but I really want to find a man. Really want to find a man to just grow old with, just enjoy life with. I don't want somebody with kids that live with him. I don't want somebody that's mad all the time. I don't want somebody into BDSM punishments.
Ah.
Be normal for once. Somebody normal and
You say
somebody that.
that, but I don't think you ready for that. I'm just gonna be blunt, cause you're not
What do you
you
mean I'm ready
you
for that?
might
I like last
you
year I haven't been with anybody. I've
I
been like
get it. You had one relationship that was normal, but
I've only been in 3 relationships though. The first one was normal. We were just, teenage adults that had sex everywhere, and we were good. And then he died with my friends, and then the second one was good. It just, he was older, so he had ED. So like we were more mentally and stuff. I mean, we had sex. He was just old school missionary,
Yeah, that's
sometimes
gonna be yeah,
okay.
yeah, traditional.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
then my ex, he just got psychotic. But I mean, he was beginning. I don't know what happened to him in the end, but with him it really didn't matter about him because he was really always gone unless he wanted to punish me. I was just me and the kids. So I mean, it was okay. The relationship was okay for me because it wasn't about him. It was about being stable and being there for the kids, being a mom for the kids, showing them how, to cook, clean, do laundry, clean themselves, how to, do their schoolwork, make sure they go for goals, make sure that they, like the boys were into Pokemon and stuff like that, but they were also into they were taking oh my gosh, I can't remember what it's called, but they were making short movies and stuff. They were learning how to make short movies and stuff in like this thing after school. And they
TikTok.
like design movies and video games. So I'm like, if you want to do it, let's start now. So I started getting them into all these clubs and showing them how to do things online and signing up for things. That way they can get. They were only 12 and they turned 13 this year, but I wanted them to focus on what they wanted to do. That way they could see what they wanted to do, start early, like it. Kira really wanted to be um like a lawyer, but she was like scared to talk in front of people. So, I got her into these classes to help her focus on standing up there, talking in front of people, debate and stuff, because you're going to have to debate in the courtroom and, build her confidence in that. Daquan, he was crazy. He was just the older, the older son was just crazy. But, he just needed hugs like that boy. He was so hard because they grew up in the foster system and he was the oldest and he was just so hard. The boy just uh I loved him, but he couldn't like he would just walk in a room mad, staring at somebody. And he would just go give him a hug. He'd be like, "Stop, mom, stop it." I'd be like, "You're not hard, boy. Like, stop." I was like, "Stop trying to act like you're from the street." I was like, "You're a mixed kid in Oregon." But yeah, they were my babies. They're cute. Not gonna say we always got along because we were all locked in the same house for a whole year. Not, I mean, when I say we were locked in, the kids and me did not get to leave for a year out that apartment, that tiny 2 bedroom apartment. Like,
I
yeah.
don't know how the heck
So,
y'all live. I couldn't do that.
well, COVID was going on. He didn't want us outside, and so we just didn't go outside.
Okay. I mean, they had to go to school, so he kept it from school.
No, no, no. School was online, so we had the computers and they had to do it online. None of the schools opened until this year in Oregon. For the last 2 years, they were closed.
Okay.
So, um, yeah, everything, even like until like maybe 4 months ago, even the restaurants were still. And when Missouri was open, we were closed down. And the restaurants in Oregon, most of them are only at 75% occupancy right now, and you still have to wear masks. So, like, being back here is strange because everything's open and nobody's wearing masks. And like to go anywhere like the movies there, go to a restaurant, you have to show that you've had your shots. If you haven't had your shots, you can't go in the restaurant or nothing. So
Yeah, I heard
everything
something
here is
about
pretty
that.
laid back. So yeah, it's pretty different.
Yeah, I
So
heard.
like,
Yeah, Oregon is definitely different. Oh
yeah,
man.
it's not just Oregon, it's Washington and California. All of them are pretty much like that. They're getting better though. They started opening stuff back up, and but it's just different kind of people out there. The people are more
Yeah.
open.
Yeah.
Yeah, people are open. Everything's mixed out there. There's no black or white, Hispanic. I mean, it's what block you're from, not really what race you are. And then there's different kinds of black. There's Haitians, Jamaicans, blacks. And then there's Guatemalan, there's people from Spain, there's people from Mexico, like there's Hawaiians, there's Filipinos. So it's like you don't hear, oh, you're black, oh, you're white, oh, you're Filipino. It's like, no, I'm from this block, I'm from here, I'm from this country. And nobody cares. Like everybody's mixed with something. And then there's skinny and there's fat and there's short and there's tall. Nobody cares about all that. They go by personality. They go by like what you have, what you can get, what you're gonna give. It's I don't know, it's just different. Out here people are very closed minded. I should say. Very closed.
Mm-hmm.
My daughter's a lesbian and she's mixed. So going to school and job and for her from because she was born in Vegas. So she went from like schools in Vegas and Kansas City to Joplin, Missouri, and she wasn't just mixed. Then she came out as a lesbian, and then yeah. But she's strong-willed. She didn't care. I mean, she's my baby. Like, she's got a good head on her shoulder. And
Mm-hmm.
what?
Yeah. Yeah, that's how it is. All right, so
So, how many boxes did I check off that are really bad? That's what I want to know.
I don't check off boxes.
I don't know what boxes or what you're writing down, but how bad am I?
I'm just writing stuff down.
Yeah, am I on the crazy side of you writing it down, or am I the? I've never known anybody to.
I'm just writing it down so for my memory. When you get to this
Yeah.
age, your memory sometimes get bad and stuff. So it's just something for me to remember. So
Yeah.
all right. So then we're gonna continue this conversation. I guess tomorrow.
Okay.
Um, what time are you even thinking about coming here?
Whenever you want, just tell me.
Or Sunday? You know what? We can do 11 by 11.
11 tomorrow.
11. I should be up.
Okay.
All right. So yeah, we'll continue this tomorrow. And now I'm gonna be up just a little bit, and I'm taking my butt to bed. Shoot, that drive! Oh my gosh, all these doggone roads. We got so many dirt roads up. I didn't think we had that many dirt roads up this way, but I guess we do. But all right. So yeah, I will see you tomorrow morning. I'll probably text you 'cause I'm sure you'll be up around midnight. So I text you throughout the night.
Okay.
So all right.
Well, you
Then
have sweet.
oh, I definitely will. And then you'll get to see my studio, the best studio ever.
That's pretty awesome. I've never seen a studio, so it will be the best.
A studio apartment? What? In Oregon?
Well, I mean, no, I don't think I've ever seen a studio apartment.
What? Well, you will
Yeah.
be in for a treat tomorrow. Although I do need to clean up a little bit. It won't take very long.
You
But
don't have to clean it. You can keep it just as it is. Normal is normal. You know.
no, this ain't no. I need to clean the countertops. All that cooking I was doing. Woo. But all right. I will talk to you probably in a little bit, probably about another hour or two.
Okay. Bye.
All right. Okay.